And good morning, friends. Welcome to The Bright Side. I am Pharmacist Ben, and thanks for being here. 844-236-6010 is our number. If you have questions, comments, success stories, or if you just want to contribute to the conversation, 844-236-6010 is our number on The Bright Side. Dr. Drew Peterson will be with us at the bottom of the hour. We're going to talk some acupuncture, herbalism, as well as the longevity products. Some of you know who Dr. Peterson is. He's one of the guys who answers the phones. He's a chiropractor, and an herbalist, and an acupuncturist, and an all-around generally good guy. And I've known Dr. Drew, for going on 10 years now. We'll have him on at the bottom of the hour. And then we'll get your calls next segment, 844-236-6010. If you want to purchase longevity products, go to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. And don't forget to take a look at the business opportunity. For a one-time $30 fee, you can be in business for yourself, have a home-based business, and help change the world with the power of nutrition. Help spread the word about the power of a good nutritional supplement program and make some money at the same time. Click on the Join the Team link at brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com, or call 866-735-2470 for more information. Okay, so we have been talking about this very fundamental and underappreciated distinction between water and fats, water-soluble and fat-soluble. All has to do with the electricity, the electrical nature of molecules, which is somewhat overlooked. The electrical nature of chemistry is overlooked at our own peril. If we don't understand the electrical nature of the body, we're going to be less able to leverage the fundamental power that runs us, which is electromagnetic, which is electricity. Electricity is everything. That's what Nikola Tesla taught us at the turn of the 20th century or the late 19th century. He said everything is electricity, everything is frequency, everything's vibration. And it should come as no surprise that fundamentally that's what the body is. And if you understand that, then you'll know why the water-soluble and fat-soluble distinction is so important. There's four basic kinds of dietary or nutritional fats. You got essential fatty acids; those are your EFAs, and they're incredibly complicated just on their own. There's the fatty vitamins, and they're the phytonutrients. And then there's the triglycerides. Those are your four major types of fats. I may be missing some. I think you could probably throw in steroid hormones. Your hormones, we'll say. So fatty acids, fatty vitamins, phytonutrients, triglycerides, and then the steroid hormones. They're not quite the same because you don't eat the steroid hormones, but you do eat cholesterol, and that's part of the whole system. There's also nutrients that the body uses to process fats, and one of the most important is lecithin. Lecithin is made up of choline, among other things. Lecithin is a bunch of phosphorus kinds of phosphorus fatty substances, we'll say. Well, phosphorus amino acid-like substances, we'll say. Phosphorylated amino acid-like supplements. There's one called PTS, phosphatidylserine. Serine is an amino acid. And you stick a phosphorus on there, you get PTS. PTS has gotten a really incredible reputation for being a brain supplement, PTS. And I remember when it came out, a friend of mine was a guy who wrote a book on it, and he decided he was going to come out with a product, and he just got a bunch of powder, which is basically just lecithin derivative. He called it PTS, and he started selling it as a brain supplement. Made a lot of money. PTS is in eggs. There's PTC is in eggs. PTC is phosphatidylcholine, which is similar. And choline is unbelievably important. Choline is one of those weird kinds of molecules that we don't know if it's a vitamin. It's sort of like an amino acid. You don't really know. They call it a vitamin-like substance, choline. You've probably seen it on your multiple vitamin supplements. If a multivitamin supplement is formulated correctly, it's going to have some choline in it. And most multivitamin supplements will have a little choline, but they don't have enough choline. So if you really want to get choline, and if you have any kind of mental health issue, brain health issue, I should say, choline is absolutely amazing. It is the fundamental building block of probably the brain's most important chemical, which is called acetylcholine, which acetylcholine is crazy important stuff. And as for brain health, acetylcholine issues, problems with acetylcholine or acetylcholine transmission can cause dementia, can cause brain problems. You may have heard a couple years ago, Benadryl was implicated in being associated with dementia. Why? Well, Benadryl blocks choline. said to be anticholinergic. Choline was originally found in lecithin. Lecithin, by the way, comes from the Greek word for egg yolk. And that's really where we first discovered lecithin. Choline was discovered in lecithin. They did some in the middle of the 18th century. They were like getting into the chemistry of the body. They were probing different organs and looking for different molecules. They found this stuff lecithin, and then they found this stuff choline. They didn't really know what it was or what it did, but they knew it was powerful because it was in the brain. A lot of it was in the brain. So they knew it had something to do with brain health or electrical health. And then they found it in, actually it was originally found in bile. Chole, C-H-O-L-E, like choline, cholesterol, cholecystokinin, which is a chemical that is made in bile. Choline means bile. Choline was first found in bile, thus the name choline. Anyway, they did, as they were breaking down the body, they were doing the research, they found that there was this choline molecule that was in the brain, and it was in the nervous system, and it was crazy important. There was lots of it. And it turns out that's acetylcholine. Acetylcholine, ACH, as sometimes you'll see it said, is a neurotransmitter. That means it's a chemical that turns into electricity. Neurotransmitters are chemicals that activate electricity, we'll say. They don't get turned into it, they activate electrical charges. Neurotransmitters activate electrical charges. They're chemicals that are associated with electricity. That's a whole other story, the whole chemical, electrical nature, how chemistry turns into electricity, turns back into chemicals, turns back to electricity. That's how the nervous system works. It's this movement of chemical to electricity, back to chemical, back to electricity, etc. On and on and on. That's how nerves fire. And acetylcholine plays a major, major role here in this activity. If you block acetylcholine, you get paralyzed, blow darts. You ever seen the Native Americans, not Native Americans, but native indigenous cultures in New Guinea and in various jungle cultures that haven't been affected by Western technologies. When they hunt, they use blow darts. What are blow darts? Blow darts are little darts that go into a bamboo hollow tube, and you blow at them, and they paralyze an animal because the tip of the blow dart is covered with something called curare. And curare is a acetylcholine blocking substance. It causes paralysis. And it's not just indigenous cultures that take advantage of this paralysis induced by blocking acetylcholine. Surgeons do it. It's part of modern surgery. There are drugs that they give you that block acetylcholine when they want to induce paralysis. If you're unfortunate enough to need a ventilator when you're in the hospital, they will give you a choline-blocking drug, succinylcholine, to put you into paralysis. It's called a paralytic drug, which is a whole other interesting story, we'll say. All right, we'll be back on the bright side right after this. Okay, we are back on the bright side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. We'll get your calls here in just a sec, so hang on. Dr. Drew Peterson will be with us at the bottom of the hour. We're going to talk a little acupuncture and herbalism and longevity products, and that'll be at the bottom of the hour. We'll get your calls here in just a minute. I want to just say a couple more things about this whole acetylcholine or anti-acetylcholine or acetylcholine blocking effect that's taken advantage of by medicine. There are drugs that are used that take advantage of this whole idea that blocking acetylcholine has a kind of slowing down effect on things. If it's used in extreme, it'll cause paralysis, and that's where these paralytic drugs come from. But if it's used just mildly, it can have a kind of slowing down effect. That's what's used to treat movement disorders, Parkinson's disease, for example, and tremors. They'll use these anticholinergic type drugs. Antipsychotics sometimes have anticholinergic effects of slowing down, kind of slow things down. Drugs for diarrhea, same idea, slows things down. They call these anticholinergic drugs, by the way. You can tell you've been on an anticholinergic drug or you've taken an anticholinergic drug by dry mouth. If you've ever experienced dry mouth after you've taken a drug, that's because that drug was blocking acetylcholine. Acetylcholine is involved in secretions. Blocking secretions is an anticholinergic effect, and that's why Benadryl has anticholinergic properties. It blocks secretions. There are there are a couple of really interesting ways the acetylcholine system is involved or taken advantage of, exploited, we'll say, by pharmacology. by drugs for beauty, for skin. And we'll talk about that tomorrow as we continue talking about acetylcholine and the things you could do, to support your acetylcholine system, particularly if you are interested in having a better brain, if you're interested in having better memory and better cognition and better brain function, and if you're interested in staving off the effects of the cumulative or age-related effects of cognitive decline. All right, 844-236-6010 is our number. Let's hit the phones and say good morning to Elaine in Alaska. What's up, Elaine?
Hey, good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. What's going on?
Good. Hey, I've got a patient. She has been diagnosed with Lyme's quite a while ago, and then she's got a pretty high-stress life. Her husband works on the slope, so he's gone for like 2 weeks at a time or a month at a time, and he's back. So she's got quite a bit of load, and then she's got chronic Lyme.
Does she have kids?
Yeah, they're grown, but one of them has kind of mental issues. So she's got a lot of stress.
She's got a lot of stuff going on, and that's the thing. You know, she has Lyme's disease, and she wants to work on the Lyme's disease. I imagine. She came to you for that or something. I'm assuming she wants to work on the Lyme's disease. But there's so many other places to work that are easier than working on Lyme's disease. Here's the thing about Lyme's disease. Lyme disease. It's not Lyme's. It's Lyme disease. There's chronic and there's acute. You know, there's the stuff that happens. You get bit by a tick and you have issues. But then there are the people who who maintain symptoms for a long time, and it could be significant. But most of these people, or a lot of these people, in my experience, have other things going on. It's not like they're perfectly healthy and then all of a sudden they get Lyme disease. At least most people. Perhaps I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but most people have other things going on. So why isn't she working on these other things? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you have Lyme disease for a year or more than a year, or sometimes for years, something's going on. If something's going on, that means it's not the Lyme disease. That means there's other things. They're predisposing you or not allowing you to heal. That's where she should be working. That's my opinion on chronic Lyme disease, and I hear it a lot, you know. And we're always focusing on symptoms, and we're focusing on the offending agent. It's about the terrain. You understand what I'm saying? The distinction I'm making. It's about the terrain, meaning it's the soil that allows the seed to grow. You got to take care of the soil, and of course, the fundamental area where you take care of the soil is going to be in the intestine. So, how well do you know this lady? How well do you know her?
She's a relatively new patient, so I've only seen her a couple times. I know she's mentioned she has problems with gluten and digestion.
Oh, there you go. There you go. I was about to ask you. I was going to say, is there digestive issues? Yes, of course.
Yeah.
I defy you to find me anybody who has chronic long-term issue of any kind that doesn't have an associated digestive problem. It's so obvious. Right. It's just so obvious. It can't not happen. Now, you could say, well, everybody has digestive problems. That's just the way it is. Maybe, but it seems to me self-evident that the entrance point into the bloodstream is the digestive system, so that's where the problem is going to be. Almost always. I say almost. I can't think of when it's not, but we'll say almost always.
Right.
Okay. So work on that. Probiotics, fiber, anything to patch up a leaky gut. You remember did you hear me talking about the lipopolysaccharides, LPS?
Right.
Yeah, the lipopolysaccharides predispose us to all of these problems. All the symptoms of Lyme's disease are the same as the symptoms of lipopolysaccharide infiltration. Why? Because the Lyme is exerting its harmful effects, or it's causing its harmful effects via the same mechanism as LPS. Basically, it's activating the immune system. That's why you get the rash. You know, the classic Lyme disease rash. That's how they know. They diagnose it. It has a classic rash. There's, the chills, the body aches, the headache, and over time the joint problems, the eye problems, liver problems. All of these are the same signs as LPS.
And I think EFA.
Yes, absolutely. Stay off of the bad fats. What's her diet like?
That we're working on that. So.
Yeah, well, I'm not putting her down or anybody. I'm just saying those are places to work. All right, I hope I helped, Elaine. I want to get one more call in.
Thank you.
Okay, take care. Have a great day. Okay. Bye. All right, my buddy Rob. What's going on, Rob, in Ontario, Canada? I'm doing great. How are you? Did you get everything straightened out with Nasima?
Actually working on that, but I'm going to join the Brightside team because we have to nowadays. Dr. Wallach is doing something groundbreaking. He's going to bury the Hippocrates in the medical model, the world of allopathy, all this stuff.
Nice.
I
appreciate your passion. I appreciate your passion, Rob. That's awesome.
Yeah, this is incredible. Now, what I want to ask you, with our innate bodies, we have, 1 million daily functions, chemical reactions in our body.
A million, millions. You mean different ones? Or every cell's probably doing 100,000 different things a second, and then you have 100 trillion cells. So,
and there's chemical reactions, all our
all that stuff. Molecules changing shape. Just crazy stuff going on right under our noses.
Yeah. What do you think? I think since Dr. Wallach is doing his new groundbreaking, it's not a hypothesis. I forget what he calls it again, but it's going to be coming up soon with his epigenetics thing and that. We need a new science too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
science doesn't cut it.
Good, Rob. You got it down, man. I totally 100% agreeing with you. 100%. It's an old model. It's an antiquated model, and we live in a quantum age, and we're operating with a biochemical or biomolecule medicine. We live in a quantum age. We've got to start leveraging the quantum side of things, and that's where consciousness and attention come in.
That's right.
The way I look at it.
We now need holistic science.
I personally believe that we're on the cutting edge of that. I don't know if it'll be decades, might be decades before we move into it. But you see now, even with COVID, how they're using zinc and they're using the Donald Trump melatonin. It's getting better, Rob. Thanks to Dr. Wall. Thanks to guys like you as well. Thanks, Rob. Appreciate it. Dr. Drew Peterson coming up. We are back on the bright side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. We're on the air Monday through Friday, 8 to 9 Pacific and 10 to 11 Central Time, and 24/7 on the archive page at benfuchsarchives.com, also brightsideben.com, and you can purchase longevity products at brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, and criticalhealthnews.com, and take a look at our Truth Skin Health products at truthtreatments.com, and our 1,400 plus 4- and 5-star reviews at truthreviewed.com. Okay, I am excited to have my good friend on as our next guest. Dr. Drew Peterson is an acupuncturist and an herbalist and an expert in all things longevity and a great guitar player as well and a good friend. Please welcome to the bright side, Dr. Drew. What's up, buddy?
Good morning, Ben. Good morning.
Good morning.
The positive message you give everybody, Ben.
Thank you.
We need more of it.
It's the bright side. We want to look at the bright side. So I just got this text in, Dr. Drew. My buddy Danny says, "Good morning, Ben. I have a good friend whose son is a biologist at Disneyland in Florida and just got COVID-19. He says, I'm going to order zinc picolinate and lipovitamin C for him. What dose would you recommend for these, and what else can I buy for him?" So can you help me answer that question, Dr. Drew?
We have something called the Seasonal Immunity Pack, which will provide the vitamin C and some zinc, echinacea, a series of other things that would be very, very useful. So, and that way it's simple. It comes in one packet, 5 different pills, really easy.
I saw the Digestive Pack too. Have you been working with that at all?
Yes, I have.
Tell me about it.
What's really cool about the Digestive Pack, it even has things like lipoic acid and things like that in it. Very high-end stuff. So it's not only just for digestion, it's for your heart and for the cardiovascular system as well. So it should be named a little, it's a little more complete than just a digestive system. So
you're not just a nutritionist and a longevity guy. You're also an acupuncturist and a chiropractor.
Yeah, I'm a chiropractor
and an herbalist.
And I'm an instructor. I'm a physiology instructor at the acupuncture school in Sarasota. I teach chemistry, biology, and anatomy and physiology classes as well.
And how did you get into the whole nutritional supplement thing?
Wow. Well, as a chiropractor, we don't use drugs as a chiropractor, so naturally, the vitamin reps would come to the clinic and give us things to try.
What years are we talking about here?
Oh my God, we're talking about 1979, 78.
Okay,
yeah.
what was
I graduated in 80.
What was the status of nutrition in, like, what did people think of it in 1978 and 79, which wasn't that long ago, really, only 42 years ago, but
yeah, not that long ago for a dinosaur. So, well, back then, just to give you an idea, I took classes I took a seminar at Continuing Ed credits, and one of our instructors was Dr. Linus Pauling, who had 2 Nobel Prizes, one in chemistry. He discovered the hydrogen bond in chemistry that changed organic chemistry and biochemistry forever, and he also had a Peace Prize, Nobel Peace Prize.
Who anyway, Linus Pauling?
Yeah, Dr. Linus Pauling. Yeah,
he discovered the hydrogen. I didn't know he discovered. I know he was big on bonding. He was one of the early guys that understood bonding. St. Georgi, ever hear of this guy Albert St. Georgi?
Yes, sure have. Yes,
he was another bonding
Linus
guy.
Mentioned him a bunch of times. Yeah,
yeah, that's right. That's right.
Mm-hmm. So Linus also got a Nobel Prize for the hydrogen bond, and here he is. He has a Nobel Prize, and of course all the little goofballs around, the guys that have a degree from Lithuania University or wherever.
Yeah, the clinical guys.
Say, vitamins are useless. Yeah. Oh, they're useless. They don't do anything. Yeah, where's their Nobel Prize? So naturally, I followed Dr. Pauling from there on, and the Pauling Institute.
For your patients.
Jeff Bland, who took it over, and vitamin C in the that was a big deal.
Did you use? You're talking about you started working clinically with the stuff you were learning from Dr. Pauling.
Yes, and Jeff Bland, who took over the Pauling Institute after Dr. Pauling left.
Okay, now Jeff Bland, I remember Dr. Jeff Bland. He's written a lot of books on nutrition, but I haven't seen him around lately, or I haven't seen any of his stuff lately.
No, I don't know what he's doing now, but he was like, he was a lot like you, Ben. Maybe even more so when it came to detail. He could tell you every journal he ever read, every reference he ever had, at the top of his head. I mean, it was.
I'm not good that way.
This guy had a memory that was like I've never seen anything like it.
Did you know him personally?
Yeah, it turns out my nutrition teacher was his girlfriend, so we heard about him from there. And then every time Jeff came to town, because his girlfriend was one of our teachers at the chiropractic school, I took continuing ed classes with him.
So you got into acupuncture after chiropractic school?
Yeah, about 1978. I moved from California to Florida, and at Florida, they could give you a certification, like a weekend, 12 weekends, and you could take a test and do acupuncture. And I realized I was really no good at it, so I decided to go back to school and get my master's degree in Chinese medicine, because my patients were coming in, and they were saying, well, yeah, I'm scheduled for gallbladder surgery. And I'd say, well, good luck. I didn't know what to do. Besides, milk thistle and maybe beet greens, But so by getting my Chinese medical degree, I really helped a lot of people and kept them from the knife.
Have you seen miracles happen, like just crazy, amazing turnarounds happen with acupuncture?
With acupuncture, yes, and with herbal medicine, even more so.
Even more than acupuncture?
Yeah, the thing is with acupuncture and pain. When I wrote for the Harvard-UCLA consortium called Natural Standard, they taught me that when you evaluate studies, if somebody says their pain is 50% better, I mean, it's all subjective. Pain's subjective. Either it's there or it's gone. So with herbal medicines, like I had a patient scheduled for get her uterus removed, endometriosis all over the place, MRIs, everything.
What do you use?
I used what we call blood-busting formulas, things that break up blood clots in the bloodstream. Chinese
Such as?
Formulas.
Such as?
Oh, gosh. Well, Cardamus, which is basically safflower flowers.
These have proteolytics? Are these proteolytics? They dissolve fibers?
Yes, they would be. Yes, well, you could call them fibrogenic. Yes. They're fibrinogenics, yes.
Yeah, fibrinogenics.
Fibrogenase stuff,
they stimulate the enzyme that blocks them up. But you can use straight enzymes, right? Have you ever done that? Like the ultimate enzymes.
All my Olympic athlete patients were very hip to that before they even came to my office.
For bruising, for repair.
Enzymes. Exactly.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh,
do the athletes understand the idea of dirty blood and keeping the blood moving?
They certainly do.
Yeah.
They certainly do. But unfortunately, when you go to the Colorado Springs at the at the place where they do the training up there, the Olympic Training Center.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, McDonald's, Coca-Cola, and everybody else has their own stuff at the cafeteria. So yes, they do, but
they're still eating McDonald's. Yeah. Well, it's funny because those athletes, they're young. And they can get away with anything. And some of them are just gifted, and they can.
Well, they're broke. These Olympic athletes, they don't have money. They're spending all their money traveling and going to contests.
They're doing the dollar meals. They're doing the dollar meals.
Yeah, they're doing whatever it is to get by. It's not easy.
Okay, that's interesting. They of all people should understand how important the diet is. But that's interesting. I remember when I had this vitamin company, and I tried to go to the Nuggets, the Denver Nuggets, to sell them these vitamins. They were like, these kids don't care about vitamin supplements. They're eating burgers all day. Hey, when we come back, I want to talk a little bit specifically about some of these longevity packs. Okay, we've got Dr. Drew Peterson on the line. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll be back right after this. All right, we're back on The Bright Side talking to Dr. Drew Peterson. Doc, I just read an article here, just during the break here. Health benefits of multivitamins may all be in the mind. What do you think? That's from Harvard, by the way.
Yeah, may. You notice they say may?
Yeah, may all be in the mind. Right. Yeah. It cracks me up.
Really
what have you seen? What have you seen? Now, you're on the phones. You're talking. You're on you're on the ground, as they say, boots on the ground.
Yes, sir. I'm there in the trenches.
In the trenches, and you're talking to people. What are you hearing out there? What are you hearing about people being sick? And what are you hearing about results?
Stuff that no one would believe. I mean. Well, just I'll give you two of them. Just recently, one of my clients who works for the FBI, does surveillance with the FBI, calls up, got a prostate issue really bad. Sent him the FX formulation with the Beyond Tangy Tangerine combination and essential fatty acids. In 3 days, his prostate was better already. In 3 days.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It's crazy.
It's crazy, right? I mean, you're just blown away. Yeah. What is he thinking?
3 days.
What is this guy thinking?
Oh, he called me back immediately. He said, "Thank you so much." It's wonderful. You get a lot of thanks. God bless you, and all that stuff. You don't get rich selling vitamins, but it enriches your life. It really does. You're helping people, and you make a little money too to pay your bills. But
it enriches your life. You don't get rich, but it enriches your life. Some people get rich, but you don't have to get rich, but you'll still get it. It'll still enrich your life.
Exactly right.
Yeah, that's
another
well said.
Two other people, for example, lady had not urinated in 3 years because she was on dialysis.
Okay.
So I sent her did Dr. Walk's program with a little extra things. Sent her the plant-derived minerals. Sent her the Ultimate Daily Classic to dilate her arteries and the Tangy Tangerine. She started urinating again. After 3 years.
Wow! After 3 years. Wow! That's unbelievable.
Tell me a nephrologist who has a patient who recovers. There are none.
How about people who are going to have surgery? How about people who are going to have surgery and then they got on a supplement program, didn't need the surgery? Do you hear that?
Let's see. Yeah, some people with back problems, for example. Yes, people with sciatica, back problems, disc problems. Yeah, they take the bone and joint pack. They with some collagen peptides to increase an MSM to increase the connective tissue strength. Yeah, they can avoid surgery. Absolutely.
And weight loss.
Oh, especially the people with diabetics. That's the main thing. Weight loss is a big deal. But if you have a high weight problem, you're probably going to be diabetic too. And diabetes kills people more than anything. So on the diabetes patients. My goodness, we give the Beyond Tangy Tangerine and the Sweet Ease, and all of a sudden they're not a diabetic anymore. That's dozens of people over the last 10 years have told me that.
Isn't that crazy? They're not a diabetic anymore. I don't even think you're allowed to say that.
Now they follow the glycemic index chart. Yeah. They realize what foods are damaging them and what don't.
Yeah.
But no, adult onset diabetes type 2. No, it's a behavioral issue, and by changing their behavior, they can literally cure themselves.
It's a behavioral issue. That's well said. I call it a lifestyle issue, but I think behavioral issue says it even better because it has to do with our behaviors, our eating behaviors, our exercise behaviors, our lifestyle behaviors. That to me, when I hear that, to me is what makes it all worthwhile. Is when you hear the stories And it's hard to deny the power of it. It's, I think, Dr. Drew, sometimes we forget because we're in the business and people are listening to this program, study nutrition, or at least are interested enough that they're listening to this program. We forget that most people have zero idea about this. Like nothing. They've
Absolutely.
never until they called you up or heard me or Doc on Coast to Coast or heard this radio show. They had no idea that any of this was possible. There's like a huge amount of the population that's like that, and then they hear about it and they say, "Okay, I'll give it a call." And all of a sudden, a body that hasn't had any vitamin C probably, or hadn't had enough vitamin C for years, all of a sudden gets a big jolt of it, or B vitamins, or choline, or EFAs, or any of that other stuff, and it becomes completely transformative.
Absolutely, and usually very rapidly too.
And rapidly, yeah. The more deficient we are, the faster the body absorbs the nutrients. So one of the things I like about Youngevity is the packs, because it makes it real simple. A lot of people don't need simple. They want to know what's going on. They want to buy their supplements individually. But for people who aren't really hip to nutrition, but still want the power of it, but they don't want to have to go study everything, the packs are perfect, right?
And they're synergetic. They're synergetic. The things, the sum is greater than its parts.
Yeah, because the way the selection of nutrients that are picked, like the Beyond,
they all work together.
That's why I love the BTT is amazing. Have you probably seen like miracle stuff with the BTT?
Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah. Some people who just took the BTT. Not a lot, but some that just took BTT were no longer diabetics because they were just basically mineral deficient.
Yeah. Doc talks about that. Tell us about the packs now, the specifics on the packs. The most important one is the Healthy Start Pack, of course.
No, not really.
No?
Doc's always talking about the Brain and Heart Pack. And
okay.
The reason why is the Brain and Heart Pack includes a large bottle of essential fatty acids. Now, I had a little bit of a cardiac issue, a little angina, and I wasn't taking my EFAs. As soon as I started taking my EFAs, I recovered so rapidly, it was incredible, because basically the EFAs interfere with COX-2, which is inflammatory and increases the prostaglandins and causes vasospasm of the coronary artery. So if you take essential fatty acids, like you talk about them all the time, Ben.
I'm big on EFAs,
so
absolutely
important. Yes.
Yeah. And the thing is, we don't consider
selenium. Yeah.
So tell me, I was going to ask you, what is in there? Because I always say the Healthy Start Pack because it's got the basics, but you're saying the Brain and Heart Pack. What else is in the Brain and Heart Pack?
Well, again, it has the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. You get that in 2 flavors. It has the large bottle of the EFAs, which is very good. It includes selenium, and selenium is an anti-cancer agent. It helps
anti-estrogen,
it helps the mitochondria.
Yeah, that's pretty important stuff.
It feeds the mitochondria, the
detoxification,
every cell in your body. Yeah, free radical scavenger. Yeah, and then you get a calcium magnesium supplement that's in all of them. But again, the selenium and the large EFAs are really pivotal, at least in the beginning for people. And then you can go on maybe something a little more inexpensive, which would be the Start Pack, just to keep it going. But the Brain and Heart Pack really is a powerhouse.
So the difference between the Brain and Heart Pack and the Healthy Start Pack is the selenium and the extra EFAs?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. All right, cool. So how about the business side of things? What do you tell people about, like if somebody's interested in joining the business, what do you think about that?
It's a wonderful way to augment your income. Over time, people continue to place their orders, and you get a little commission. It doesn't cost the clients anything, which is wonderful. And you get a commission for every order they make for an eternity. So it adds up time and time again.
Yeah, so if they are on it for life, which people tend to stay on it for life, every month you just get a check.
Exactly right, and it's always on time, never been late, and you also get little benefits too. You can give patients free shipping and stuff when you reach a certain level of sales, and save them money. It's an incentive for people to buy things. Everybody loves free shipping. And you even get for even when you place your orders, you get with QV points, we call it, where you can buy some of your supplements at no cost.
Wow! How about for healthcare professionals who are seeing clients? What do you think?
I think it's wonderful because what happens is that when you're a healthcare professional, people don't come back to your office all the time. They come in, they want an answer quickly, and then they're gone. So if you give them something like a Start Pack and an easy way for them to reorder, then they're going to follow through because they realize that, that it's very simple. They just say, I want the Start Pack. They don't have to be specific about different things they're going to order. And it's easy for them. And, again, they're not in and out of your office a lot. So once they get started and they start feeling better, they refer patients to you. So, I mean, that's what it's all about.
All right, so somebody's listening to this program, wants to sign up under you. What they want, if they want to work with you, what do they do?
What they do is they can call the Critical Health News line, and that number is 855-949-7234, 855-949-7234, and ask to speak to extension 1729 or plug the number in, extension 1729, to leave a message if I'm busy teaching class or something, and I'll get back to them.
And you work directly with people. You work
exactly.
Yeah, you work directly with people.
So
all right, doctor.
They have a friend that needs a certain pack. They have a problem. Tell me about the health issue, and I'll tell them what to order.
And you know what? You'll answer questions anyway if people get a hold of you.
I do all the time.
I understand. Yeah, you're a good guy, Dr. Drew. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being on the bright side. Dr. Drew Peterson. Give out your website real quick, Doc.
Oh, I don't really. I let my website go.
Oh, you let it go.
So
okay, buddy.
But I have my phone number is 303-746-6797. Thank you, Ben.
Awesome. Thanks, Dr. Drew. Take care. All right, that was Dr. Drew Peterson, and that is it for now on the bright side. Thanks for listening. Have a wonderful, beautiful, awesome, spectacular day. I'm Pharmacist Ben. We'll talk to y'all later, folks. Bye for now.